biggest thing is understanding that that is the surface level stuff, which is so good and okay. But the things that actually make us change at the root cause is, our mindset and our habits and our morals and our belief system. So looking at the mindset and really honing in on that is going to actually allow the change to stick. A lot of the time, we are very much like, if I don't do it, I don't see results for long enough, then at the end of the day, like it's too hard, I give up, I quit. But if we have at the root of our foundation what our why is and our mindset of going, this is so much bigger than just like how I look and how I feel, that surface level stuff, but it's like I'm doing this for my kids. Like a lot of people would say, I'll die for my kids, but would you live for your kids? Would you exercise for your kids, to show up for your kids? Would you? I can see Bree's got her child with her right now. I love it. Would you have more energy? Would you eat healthy for your kids? Would you be the person that you want your kids to be? Like the position that you are in right now, if your kids grew up to be exactly where you are, would you be proud of them? Would you be happy for them? So asking those tough questions that we like to avoid is very, very important as well. Um, and I just want to preface on this call, there might be things that may trigger you. There might be things that I might say, please take everything with a grain of salt. Like, this is just the way that I coach is very tough love and blunt, but it also comes from a space of love. So please, please, please understand that as well. And if anything triggers you or you want to talk about it, please message me privately after the call as well. But let's dive in. So, why your mindset matters. So the biggest thing is your mindset is so it's everything. So your thoughts drive your actions and your actions drive your reality. So what you think and your mindset is your beliefs, how you talk to yourself, and it shapes every single decision you make because where you are right now actually is because of all the hundreds of thousands of millions of decisions you have made up until this point. And that then equals how you behave. And your actions truly do shape your reality. So the habits that you do, the choices that you make, and that can be as simple as like making your bed in the morning. And I don't believe that, you're successful if you make your bed in the morning. I fucking hate making my bed. But at the same time, it's like those decisions that you make when you say, hey, this week I want to versus this week I will. And it's like having that thought process to go, I will follow through on those things. So if you change your thoughts and the way that you think and the way that you go about things, it's going to change your actions. So same thing as like instead of like, oh, I have to work out today. It's like it's actually a privilege to work out. I'm so excited to move my body. I get to move my body. And when you change your thought process, that changes the way that you show up in areas, and that would then change your fucking life. So, my favorite saying is actually like, your body is your resume. And it's not because of like, how much you weigh is not determine your worth or how toned you are or how your stomach looks, but it reflects your body reflects how you treat yourself. I can hear someone's unmuted. Yeah, we're good. It reflects how you treat yourself. So it shows with how you move, how you carry yourself, how you fuel yourself, how you handle stress. Are you recovering? Are you listening to your body? How are you speaking to yourself? Because all these things, it's not about like, hey, when am leaner, I am going to feel so much better about my body. But it's actually understanding that what you do will allow your body to look a certain way. So, your body starts to change, not out of like hate, but out of respect. I know that like when I was younger, I was bulimic, I was binge eating, I was doing all the things that, I thought I was like eating absolutely nothing, but then I would go and binge and then I go and purge. And I'm like, oh, but I purged it. So, I should be lean. But I was inflamed all the time. My stomach was so upset all the time. My skin was just atrocious. And mentally, I felt fucked because I knew deep down what I was doing to myself, and that actually reflected in my body. And when I started to actually do things out of love and because I loved my body, and I'm like, I want to do this out of like respect for, you know, how I am and where I want to go in life. Ultimately, that's when things started to change. So the biggest thing is like we all get to a point where like, oh, I'll be happy when I get to XYZ, or when I get to this weight, or when I lose this much, or when I have abs, or, when I can finally do this. But at the same time, like that mindset that you have then is not going to allow you to get to that point. You have to actually build the foundations to get there. And it's easier said than done, obviously. But a big part of it is knowing that, that mindset has to grow with you. And if it doesn't, and if you constantly think, oh, I'll be happy when, you'll get to that point and you'll be like, oh, but now my goals have changed and I'll be happy when I get to XYZ. So it's so important to understand that this journey, there is so much duality to it where you've got to understand that like where you are right now is okay to be not happy with it, and it's okay to not be satisfied, but you guys are here, you're already doing the first thing to get you to that next step of where you want to be and who you want to become. But not only that, it's also like pain changes people. The biggest change happens when you go through something significant, when you go through a breakup. And I think so many people think, oh, it's so smooth sailing, it should be fine. But like the saying is like a smooth sailing never made a skillful sailor. I feel like that's a little bit of a tongue twister, but you can't actually, I guess, like learn or become resilient or become disciplined or have this like determination about you without there being pain. Humans change from one of two things, and it's either pain or pleasure. And most of the time, pleasure is just not enough for that to happen. We have to have something so painful in order for us to change, which is why, whether it be like you hate looking at yourself in the mirror, you hate the clothes that you're wearing, or whatever it may be. And it's accepting that and not dwelling on it, because a lot of people go, oh, I feel so sad about this. I feel so, XYZ, insert emotion. But that is just you sitting there dwelling on it, not actually taking action to move the needle forward. And I know when I get in positions where, I may have let myself go, or I may have like made decisions that don't actually align with me, I can sit and soothe and binge eat and overwhelm. And something I get a lot of my one-on-one girls to do is ask themselves in that moment and like actually pause before you go and do it, because that will help significantly stop you from doing anything further. And sometimes you still binge eat and that gets to be okay. But a lot of the time it comes from, if I do this, is this actually going to fix the issue that I am facing? And most of the time it's not. It's like, okay, I'm stressed because of this happened at work, or my kid did this, or someone said this to me, or whatever it may be. But eating or soothing the pain from something else, whatever your vice is, alcohol, drugs, food, punishing your body in the gym, like whatever it may be, it's not actually going to fix the cause. But you have to let those emotions go through your body and you have to actually face them. Even though it feels shit, it's ugly, it's gross, it's uncomfortable, the only place for growth is in that uncomfortable situation. So sometimes it does come from like taking that moment and pausing. Um, and something else I want to touch on is motivation, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not motivated. I just can't be bothered. Like, how are you so motivated all the time? I'm not. Ali's not. We're fucking not. That's just life. Like it's one of those it's like one of those things. It's like all emotions or all feelings come and go. You're not always happy. You're not always sad. You're not always hungry. You're not always ecstatic. You're not always like all these different things. They ebb and flow, and that's the beauty of life. You're not always going to be motivated, and the equation to motivation is actually action plus progress equals motivation. You actually have to work for that motivation. You have to find it. It's the same as, having a libido or feeling turned on. You can't just expect it to happen like that. You actually have to do it. And I think, I'm not going to go into that, but it's like we often point the finger and point blame at so many different things and other people, but we have to take responsibility for how we feel. If you want to feel energized, if you want to feel motivated, if you want to feel happy, you actually have to put in the effort to do that. It can't just happen out of nowhere. And so with motivation, it's one of those things just like brushing your teeth. It's like, you don't want to do it. No one wants to do it. It's boring. It's like tracking food. No one wants to weigh their food or track their food or anything like that. But if you don't brush your teeth for a week, it's kind of like, oh, your breath smells. It's kind of a bit gross, but like nothing really noticeable happens. You don't do that for a year, 2 years, 3 years, fuck, you probably end up with no teeth. So it's like you've got to understand that it's that consistency, repetitions. It's like if you don't brush your teeth once every now and again, it gets to be okay. If you don't work out and you miss or skip a workout, or you eat something off plan or whatever every now and then, that's so fine. It's okay. But it's what you do in every single decision that you make every single day. It's what you do most of the time, not what you do some of the time. And I won't go into the all or nothing mentality today, but it's very much about understanding there is grace and there's discipline, and they both can go hand in hand, and there's duality to it. And the people that have the results that you want, or the results that you want, means you have to show up when you're tired, when you're sick, when you're stressed. And you can't continue to keep giving your energy to all these other things and being like, why don't I have energy? You never gave it to yourself. And I think as well, like when we go to work, it's like, you're gonna get paid. In future, I get a pay date. I know how much I'm getting paid, all this sort of stuff. But if you don't show up to work and you have no leave and you have no things, you know that you're not going to get paid. So you're motivated to go to work. But why are you investing into somebody else's company when you don't want to, and you're not investing into yourself? Why don't we hold ourselves to that same level of respect? I think it is so important to understand that, it is okay to be a little bit selfish, because it actually makes your life better and everybody else in your life better as well. So understand that, you're not going to always feel motivated. Let that be okay. Don't keep trying to search for that motivation, because, you are, if you have that standard for yourself of understanding that you are worthy of putting discipline and commitment into yourself, that's like the highest level of respect, the highest form of respect for yourself. When you show up for you, even when you don't want to, because you know the future you will benefit from it. And that's why it's so important to look at the foundations and creating these things as like non-negotiables. And it's okay if you don't go to the gym every now and again, like it's so fine, but it's like you do it because it makes you feel more productive. It makes you have more energy. It benefits you because you feel more confident. You did the hard thing. You followed through when you said you were going to. And it builds trust and it builds confidence within yourself and emotional resilience as well. Because I actually had a conversation with a new client today, and she was saying like she went through 2.5 years she was in a wheelchair. She had a surgery on her back and everything like that. And I was like, that would have been so freaking brutal. And she's like, I used to jump into cold pools. She's like, I used to run like 10K without even like, it didn't even suck. Like, she was like, I did all the hard things and I loved it. And she's like, I know all the things. I know that. But after 2.5 years of feeling the shit, feeling the suck, she was like, I just like don't want to do it anymore. Just can't be fucked. I just like my life has been so hard. And she's like, I know that I don't want to stay in this place because I'm gonna end up worse. But she has to now rebuild that discipline and that rebuild that, I guess you could say, like, not stress muscle, but she's got to rebuild her resilience because it has like completely died down. Just like if you don't use a muscle, it's going to shrink and you're going to lose it. Your body's going to utilize it for energy. So she now has to rebuild that resilience again, which is so freaking hard. But I think, oh, stop it. Sorry, I'm just looking at the the chat. You guys are so adorable. Um, Anyways, yeah, I just think it's like crazy that like, people don't hold themselves, and I understand it's hard. Like it's like what we want to do now versus what we want to do in the future. And I think building confidence and trust in yourself is one of like the most incredible feelings. And a lot of the time it's like maybe looking at the thing that you may not be lazy or unmotivated. It's like we just have to learn how to build the structure around you, because I think it comes down why so many women get stuck and why so many women struggle is because they think they have to be perfect all of the time. And honestly, society has made us feel that way. But we can't blame anyone. We have to, take responsibility and be like, we are the ones that are going to determine where we go in life. And you can either let that determine you settling and just being like, oh, I'm lazy, I'm overweight, I'm fat, and being unhappy. Or you can be like, that is like something that you can use to ignite fuel in you and be like, nah, fuck that shit. I'm not going to end up like everybody else. I actually deserve this and I'm going to make it happen. And I think a lot of people also like, keep waiting until I'm ready, until this, until. But it's like, ready is like a decision. Like, there is like life is lifing. Like there is so many things that pop up. There's so many things going on, and there is never a good time. But the thing is, like my biggest thing is teaching my girls how to actually navigate eating out, going on holidays, and actually enjoying their life because so many people struggle with that. Like, if I don't follow this perfect plan, I'm not going to see results. So when they don't follow the plan, they demonize themselves, they make it wrong and bad, and then eventually they just spiral out of control and be like, it's not for me, it's too hard. But that's not the case. It is so far from the case. It's like you don't need to follow the plan 24/7. You need to have structure, you need to have that have some sort of a plan. But if you go off it, it's okay. Like having that grace for yourself. And I'm not going to go into that part. I need to stay on track. I'm giving you all TED Talks. Anyways, so we want to look at what that long-term change is. And honestly, it's an identity shift. It's not just about discipline because discipline is great and it's important, but it's about those like the habits. Like if you drive past McDonald's every single day, and you look at it every day, eventually oh, what is the word I'm looking for? Eventually oh my gosh, Ali, help me out here. You're like, I don't fucking know. Your willpower. Eventually, your willpower wears thin. You see McDonald's every day. If you're a fiend for McDonald's, you're gonna eventually drive there. But if you don't drive past it, out of sight, out of mind, you don't actually feel like you need to go, like you need to go. So it's like I think a big part of it is like where you position yourself, the people you surround yourself with, the things that you watch on social media. Everything in your environment will allow you to actually, see results or not. And sometimes it sucks. Like I've lost so many friends over the years and we just grow apart and that sucks, but it's also like you don't want to stop your growth because you're not making somebody else happy. And you can never make everybody happy. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But sometimes you just have to prioritize you and you have to also build those habits, those foundations to match who you want to be. And I posted something the other day, but basically saying, oops, I can hear somebody. Where are we? Uh, if you aren't on mute, could you please put yourself on mute? I think I've got everyone. Um, but yeah, basically saying like the person that you idolize or the person that you look up to, you have to match their effort if you want the results that they have. And if you're not willing to do that, you need to realign and reassess your goals to match the effort that you're willing to put in. And we need to walk the walk of the person that we want to become because it's like eventually you will become them. So it's like, I don't know if you've read the book Atomic Habits, but there's this part where he says, you have to step into the identity of the person you want to be before you actually become them. And it's like a smoker saying when someone asks them, do you want to, would you like a smoke? They're like, oh, I don't smoke anymore. But you actually have to, I guess, externally, like fake it till you make it and basically say like, no, I'm not a smoker. And that completely changes it because and same with drinking, it's like, oh, no, I'm good, like I don't drink. Versus, no, I'm not drinking tonight. People are like, oh, why? Come on, just one, have a little bit of fun, whatever. But it's like, if you actually put your foot down and be like, this is the person I am, this is the person I want to be, and you walk the walk, you will become that person. So, that identity and who you identify yourself with, even if you feel like a fraud, even if you feel fake, even if it doesn't feel right, eventually, because it's not yet. So you have to keep walking the walk and make the decisions of the person that you want to be. And it's okay to feel like a fraud for a period of time, but you have to step into that identity because, who you are is how you think. So focusing on becoming or doing the things that she does. And she is whoever you want she to be, whoever that person you want to step into. And those actions will eventually flow naturally when they align with, who you actually want to be as well. So it's not to like force those habits, but to start to embody them. And I think, discipline can get you started, but having that identity and being like, this is who I am will keep you going and keep those results forever. So again, when we talk about discipline, I think a lot of people really, really like, there's one or two ways people are like, oh, I need more discipline, or some people who are like, I'm not disciplined enough. And I think, again, it comes down to that identity thing. And I think I want to touch on in a future call like limiting beliefs and things like that. But a lot of the time, what we believe, like every time you catch yourself saying, I can't, or I'm not that, or I don't do that, that's not who I am, I'm a type this personality, this is my star sign, whatever, you're tying yourself to that. And it's a means for you to never actually change. So I want you guys throughout the next like week or so really hone in on catching yourself when you say, I can't. I'm not that. I don't do that. That's not me. And challenge yourself on that thought. When that comes up, it's kind of like, okay, but why? And ask that question because limiting beliefs are so freaking powerful. And as humans, we really like to stop ourselves to prove ourselves right. Like we would rather be right than actually achieve what we want to achieve because it hurts our ego. And no matter what you say, we all have a big ego. It's just like human nature. But it's like every time you get yourself into that position, you're like, I can't do that. I'm not smart enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not skinny enough. Challenge it and be like, why? Like, why do I keep telling myself I can't do that? It's like, oh, I'm a mom. I don't have time. Oh, my kids. Oh, this. It's like, how can I? And find a solution rather than keep putting these walls up of like, why you can't. So, um, I've gone in a roundabout circle. I have not followed the call, and now I'm like conscious of time. But basically, I want you guys to ask yourself, and I want you to journal on this later. And I know it's so easy to be like, yeah, 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 I'll journal on it. I'll eventually do it. But like, actually fucking do it because that is the difference. It's like, I always like to say, if you listen to all the podcasts, you watch all the things, you read all the books, but you know, you can know it all and you can be so aware of it all. But like, if you don't actually action anything, nothing changes. So, I want you guys to actually journal on who you want to become because if you have a clear path of what that looks like and who she is, you can start to embody that. So, you know, ask yourself, like, you know, does this person skip the gym or do they show up even if it's not perfect? And one of my girls is sick at the moment, but she's like not sick enough to not move her body. So it's like, cool, we're going to do low, slow Pilates, we're going to do stretching and have that intentional time, but you still have to show up for you in those moments and prioritize you because if you don't, the next week might look like, oh, I'll just do it again this week. And then eventually you just whittle away again on those habits that you've built. And then it's like, okay, you know, would this version of me, would she spiral after a slip up? Or would she be like, cool, it's okay. This is why I did it. Reflect on it, and it gets to be okay. Don't make yourself wrong or bad or anything for it, but just go, cool, that is what it is. Next time I'm going to approach it this way. Next time I'm going to pause and ask myself, is this what I need or is this what I need? And then, you know, how would she talk to herself? Like, I know you've probably heard this so many times, but it's like, if you spoke to your kids or you spoke to a friend the way you speak to yourself, like that probably would never come out that way. Like talk to yourself the way that you would speak to those friends. And it's like if they're asking you, oh, I had like, you know, if you said to them like, oh, I binge ate last night, I ate a little bit too much chocolate, like, you know, I can't believe it. I'm so bad. I'm so like this. I'm just not good enough. I'm not worth like whatever excuses you come up with. What would you say to her? Be like, hey, girl, it's just a block of chocolate. It's all good. Like, just get back into it tomorrow. Like, it's fine. Like, just make sure you enjoyed that chocolate that night and we just use it for fuel today. Like, all good. So start talking to yourself in that way and let the version of you, the future you that you want to become, guide every single move and every decision you make. Because, like I said, every single decision that you have made up until this date has created the version of you that you are. So every single decision that you make from here on out has to align with the person that you want to be. And it's okay, like it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I think that's what a lot of us get tied to is that perfection thing. But it's okay if it's not perfect. And if you can, like you go, cool, like this is something that I know that comes up often for me. I'm gonna work on it in the future. I'm gonna cut it there because I feel like I can keep going on forever. But I want to give you guys the chance to ask any questions. So the way we do this is please, please never stop. Oh my gosh. Um, the way we do this is you can write your question in the chat box, or you can write hotspot and I'll unmute you and you can talk to me face to face. We can have a conversation. So feel free to spam away. I'm just going to catch up on the group chat. Balance makes me happiest. 100%. We can have a donut and we can also have a steak. That's balance for me. Um, so good. Identity shift. Fucking oath. Desensitized. Is that the word you think I was searching for, Kel? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Never shrink yourself to fit in someone's box. Yes, that is from Al. Yes, ma'am. Best book, read it if you haven't, gals. Yes, with the Atomic Habits book, so fucking good. But I think so many people try and read it really fast and just try and get through it. Even if you read the same page and like for like the next 30 days and action what's on it, that is better than just trying to get through it. Um, so nice listening to you speak while I work out. I love that. Uh, wait, what is this? Collapse all. Oh no. Oh no, I've got it. Okay, no one's got any questions. We're all quiet, gals. Wow. No one wants to say anything. Now's your time to shine. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. You're all just stunned. I did not like if I actually showed you the PowerPoint, I completely did not did not follow any of that. It just felt like what I wanted to say tonight. Oh my gosh. What does A and B mean in the workout? A and B. Oh, potentially it could be a superset. Can you send that in the group chat and I'll like a screenshot of that just so I can actually see what you mean? Because if it is A and B, usually it's oh yeah, usually it's like 1A, 1B, and then that would be a superset. So you do the first exercise, then the second exercise, then you have your rest. What is the little body weight tick box in a workout? So that is if you're only doing body weight for that workout, you can tick that and then it just marks them all as body weight rather than actually adding a weight. So if you're doing like lunges or something like that and you're not adding any weight, you can just press body weight. How would you recommend trying to get out of the mindset of feeling insecure or worthless for like the days it just comes? Honestly, I still have those days. Some days, whatever it may be, like we're human, like you're gonna feel like that. And it can be because of absolutely anything. And like it is so normal. And like I think when we sit on it and dwell on it, sometimes like we get in our head way too fucking much. Like we constantly think and think and think and think, but like thinking never actually gets you anywhere. Taking action and being like, okay, why do I feel that way? And it's like, okay, because I didn't show up here, here, and here. So tomorrow I need to actually start doing X, Y, and Z, and then you'll start to feel better. So sitting on it, dwelling on it, thinking about it, making yourself like miserable about it is not actually going to help you get there. And know that it's fine. Like it's okay not to feel like amazing all the time. Like you have your period, you go through emotions, your brain actually changes during a certain phase of your cycle where you see your body so differently and you like it's neggy, very neggy. So it's okay to feel that way for sure. Not related to what you were talking about, but should dinners be less carby than lunches, or it doesn't matter just as long as we're hitting our macros for the day? Yeah, as long as you're hitting your macros for the day. That's something that I think it's like a little myth that kind of went around no carbs after this sort of time. But honestly, it depends. Like you can fuel yourself around like your workouts. That is like a really, really good way to do it just for like your energy and your performance, and you'll notice the difference. But it doesn't matter. I love eating a fuck ton at dinner. Like I'm so busy throughout the day that I don't really have time to like enjoy my meals. Yes, I mindful eat and all the things, but when I have dinner, I can just sit, enjoy, and just like, so I fucking love a good big dinner. So it's more than okay. As soon as you said body weight, that made sense. That is so fine. Advice for gym anxiety. So, when it comes to anxiety, a big thing is like, again, it's like that. So, depression is living in the past, anxiety is living in the future. A lot of the time, again, it comes down to that overthinking thing of like we constantly think instead of actioning things. And we've lived through it multiple times rather than actually doing the thing. So the only way to overcome anxiety is actually proving to yourself that you're not going to die. You're going to be okay. And a thing that I like to explain is like if you go to a party or you go somewhere, you're going to have that anxiety. I don't know anyone, or it's overwhelming. But as soon as someone comes up to you and you like have a conversation, you're like, ah, I feel a little bit more okay now. So again, it comes down to desensitizing yourself from the situations and I think just going, what's the worst that could happen? Like I don't know, I've had my stories. I've tried to do a bench press and then I couldn't lift it. The weight fell to the floor and I couldn't push it up and over. The weight was touching the floor and I couldn't get out. Someone ran over, helped me up, like helped me out of that situation, and I was so embarrassed. I left. It was my first exercise and I left. I've done it before with a squat where you've racked and then I've missed it and it's like full dropped and fell. Like I've seen so many people do that. And after that, I was like, ah, fuck it, it happens, whatever. Like I was still new to my gym days, but it's like these things happen and we can't keep thinking about them, oh my God, what if it happens? What if, what if, what if? What if it doesn't? What if it actually doesn't? What if you're okay? What if you have a good workout and you walk out feeling fucking amazing? So also challenge that mindset in that. I have a gym workout on mine. Is it possible to change to home workouts? Yes. Email admin@coachbybrie.com, and we can upgrade you to home workouts if you like as well. Any more book recommendations similar to Atomic Habits? Oh, I'm pulling up my Spotify. Um, Oh, the courage of being disliked. Amazing, amazing, amazing for limiting beliefs and challenging that mindset. Another one is The Mountain Is You by Brianna West. Absolutely fucking amazing for challenging those thoughts as well. Very big on rewriting your kind of thought process and your story as well. Girls' Weekend away, help. I know it's going to be a big one. I'm feeling nervous about it. How do you strike being disciplined but enjoying to not to be being obsessed? Um, so a big thing here is I actually like to preface for everybody there. I like to be like, hey guys, I'm doing something for myself. I'm really excited. It's something I want to do. I really love your support because it's like if you go to an event and you just be like, oh, I'm eating healthy, like people are like, oh, what's one night gonna do? Same as that whole drinking situation. But if you preface it and you let everyone know and be like, I really love your support and your respect on this, then people are going to, respect you because you've said that first. So I would also put that down. Another thing you can do is making sure leading into that weekend, maybe really focus on, you could drop your calories by like 200 calories a little bit. So you have a little bit more calories to spare on the weekend. Not crazy because then you're going to feel like, oh, I'm just going to overeat. Prioritize high protein, high fiber, whole foods and veggies. And then same with when you go away, fill yourself up on all like the protein, lean proteins, fiber, and then you've nourished your body enough, and then you're not going to go over consume. I know when I'm starving, I get home, I'm like, oh, cake, chocolate, cookies, whatever. I'm going to eat so much of that. But if I'm like, cool, eat a nourishing meal, do I still want to eat, that ice cream or the cake or whatever? Usually, maybe just one versus I'll demolish absolutely everything. So, nourish your body first and foremost. And then from there, then give yourself a little bit of leeway. There's certain things I know for myself, if I start I can't stop. That's usually highly processed foods. That's what they're made to do. They're made to want to eat more so that eventually you go back, you buy more, the company makes more essentially. And there's also in the educational portal there is a video on eating out around Christmas. So that kind of navigates that, especially going away on the weekend. Move your body heaps, get your workouts in, utilize that extra food for energy. And then when you come back Monday, absolutely kick ass again. Like it is more than okay to have that weekend. And when you give yourself a little bit more grace, you're less likely to go overboard. Stretching before the workout, we're trying to complete all the stretches each time or able to pick and choose depending on how much time we have. Yeah, that's so fine. I know some people don't have like a shit ton of time as well. Sometimes you can do it in the morning whilst you're brushing your teeth. What's tight? I sit down a lot for work, so my hip flexors and my hamstrings are so fucking tight all the time. So they're the things I prioritize if I am in a bit more of a rush. So yeah, that's so fine. If you have time to do it all, amazing. If you want to also add an extra day where you just do the whole stretching and you really just breathe into it, highly recommend too. The ruthless elimination of hurry is great. What advice would you give to someone who is new to strength training and new to the gym and a little nervous? I kind of touched on this with the gym anxiety, but honestly, the only way to learn is by doing. Keep finding out, keep figuring it out. Send us videos in the chat if you're concerned about anything, if you want any advice on anything as well. But at the same time, if you're nervous, it means you care. It's good. It's good that you feel that way. And don't let that stop you or be something that holds yourself back. The only way to learn is by continuing to try. And the more I think like it dulls down your worry and your nervousness when you actually know. So the education side of it is massive. And again, I think like having like, you know, a training buddy or putting yourself out there and like potentially just being like, oh, hey, I love your outfit, or like, oh, I use using that. And when you say those things, it's fucking scary the first time you do it. I totally get that. But it puts you in a bit more of a comfortable situation because you're like, I spoke to that person. It's weird, but it's a psychological thing. But put yourself like do something overly scary so that being in the gym is less scary, if that makes sense. I touched on anxiety before. What I have done to help with this was going outside peak hours where possible. The first few times I went super late at night so that I was alone to find the machines and stuff. And next time it wasn't so scary. Yeah, Mel, that's actually amazing as well. Outside the peak hours, like Saturday, Sunday, the weekends, are really, really good. And then obviously, if you can during the week, depending on work and stuff. And then taking a buddy, going with a buddy is also really helpful. Okay, how do girls get through it? Working at a nurse on your feet for 8 hours, then doing lower body work and Stairmaster. I swear, Brie, this will be making me look so snatch. Trust the process, baby girl. I love it. If you have any more questions, please let me know. But I'm just going to, if you've got your cameras on, give me a little fucking peace sign. Hell yeah. Woo! I love it. Thank you, girls, for jumping on tonight. I hope you found so much value in this. And same time, same place next week. I will see you guys all there. Another tip for being newer to the gym is not to compare yourself to someone's day one to someone else's day 100. Yes. Bye, my gorgeous girlies. Mwah, mwah, mwah.